This is going to be a battle of the Titans. Both teams tied in second place. We'll see if they stay that way or which team will get closer to overtaking OMG for first place in LPL.
Yeah, the safe prediction for this match is 1-1, pretty much, because both of the teams are so strong at the moment. Actually, EDG have beaten OMG so convincingly on the IEM qualifiers. Right now, it is kind of a thing that we will see at the IEM too, because it is going to be the matchup EDG versus World Elite. They have qualified for the final right there to fight for $5,000. And that will definitely be an interesting match. As I said, I will be going with a 1-1 prediction right here because both of the teams are extremely strong at World Elite. Some of their players have their best splits in their lives, and EDG is just a powerhouse.
Well, keep in mind, EDG and World Elite have a very storied past. A lot of players being swapped between the teams. But it's a 1-1 prediction from all three of our Chinese commentators. And I'm going to have to echo that too. If I had to say one team would get a 2-0, it would be World Elite. Edward Gaming have been up and down a little bit recently, but most recently with a 2-0 victory over OMG. Maybe a little bit less impressive since they split 1-1 versus Young Glory, but even still, both teams looking incredibly strong coming into tonight's match.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens right here. World Elite, they have the Korean coach. It is really interesting, but on the other hand, EDG, they have the former members of World Elite, one former member of Positive Energy and some monster solo queue players, and they are the only ones to not have a Korean player in the lineup right now. Well, of course, there's Young Glory too. But yeah, a lot of Korean imports, and EDG is staying true to this Chinese origination, and they will be there to take this match most probably.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and start introducing our players and our teams. You can see it up on your screen right now, or at least previously it was World Elite with a 75% win record. And we're going to start things out by introducing the top lane. It is Salme. 3 Gragas games in a row, and while they have been sort of met with interesting ups and downs, he is going to be a big source of strength as probably the best top laner in China.
Yeah, at the moment, definitely, I would go for this one. He's having the best split of his life right there next to him. He is also being a beast jungler at the moment. Well, he's not showing the best at the very early stages of this LPL split, but they just came in like 10 minutes after the flight to try and play the game, so they lost it, but still. They're looking so strong right now, Axin and Ninja. These are the guys that came here from Korea, and Wei Xiao, of course, he's coming back to his top-notch play too. So, yep, World Elite definitely stepping up their play.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we have any Wei Zhao fans out there in the audience, but he was actually at the same point with Messiah right after World Elite started slumping after their IPL 5 victories when they were probably the best team in China, if not the world. So Messiah decided to retire because he was kind of unhappy with the way his team was going, but Wei Zhao, even though he was in a little bit of a slump himself, stuck it out, and now he is back to form. And he and Conan have been putting up some impressive numbers in the bottom lane, and as probably, I guess, top 1 or 2 bottom lanes, or duo lanes rather, in China, this is going to be a major source of strength for World Elite as they take on Edward Gaming.
Actually, also a nice thing to point out is that Conan, he was playing in Young Glory in the previous season, so right now he's in World Elite and he's doing so well on this support position. Of course, on the other hand, he has FZZF to face, and now he's considered the best support right there in China, if I'm not mistaken.
And it's actually kind of a grudge match as well. You mentioned Conan's taking on FZZF. Well, FZZF actually used to be on World Elite along with Clearlove, and both of them actually broke their contracts to move over to Edward Gaming. So this is a big source of contention between the two teams. As you can see, I don't know, it's a lot of tension. It's kind of like World Elite versus World Elite 2.0 with a lot of the strength going over there. So let's go ahead and introduce the starting lineup for Edward Gaming. Starting in the bottom lane, there is FZZF. Like you said, arguably one of, if not the best support in China in the LPL right now. It's just a monster. Before, when he was on World Elite, very strong. Still coming in strong here tonight for EDG.
Yeah, he was playing a lot of Blitzcrank back then, and when you can see right now Jinx on the match history of Name, when this Jinx got picked up, he tried to hover over this Blitzcrank to just play with the minds of his fans. Of course, EDG being such a strong team right now, and this Jinx, it was a big performance right then. So now I would love to see this Jinx coming out once again from him.
Yeah, incredible performance on his Jinx. His Twitch also looking very, very well as EDG come into this matchup versus World Elite with a 2-game victory spree in their past. And you can see their mid laner here, I don't know, maybe you should have gone with OP instead of just you, because that guy is just putting up some monstrous numbers. You can see his stats there on the screen. I think he is 3rd in LPL for KDA. That's not the right stat. I'm just looking at the wrong thing, but we'll move on to introducing Clearlove. He is their jungler and also a former member of World Elite, so a lot of history there as well. Played a Kha'Zix game and won it, so maybe bringing that champion back, but his Jarvan performances have been equally strong, 1-1 on his last 2 games.
Yeah, so U is a short for unstoppable. I think that he should go for L for legendary, because he's just playing so well, and he has the least deaths in the whole LPL league. At the moment, he's standing at the top of the MVP in this category. So, well, EDG versus World Elite, the picks and bans are coming, and this is going to be interesting, especially with all these guys picking up some weird picks and playing them so well. Like Jinx, it didn't get picked up in the LPL for such a long time, and Name comes up with it, and it's a beast. So how can you deny the champion from him? How can you deny every single champion from him?
And here we go into picks and bans for our second best-of-2 series of the night. It's World Elite taking on Edward Gaming. We in the blue, EDG in the red. And already with the bans coming out, targeting primarily the mid lane. But you got some top lane bans in there as well with the Kale and Rengar banned away from Clearlove.
Yeah, so this Kale once again taken away. Some people decide to leave her because of the nerfs, but then it gets picked up and it owns once again. So this Kale definitely is going to stay on the list of the bans. Well, Ziggs taken away from you. A little bit unfortunate. And Kog'Maw taken away from Name. So, well, we'll see which AD carry he goes for, because he's definitely the guy to look out for, because he's considered one of the best AD carries in China and in the world overall.
Well, and that's the thing to talk about. The duo lanes here are probably the 2 best duo lanes in China. We just got done watching OMG play. They had a sub in for their support, so the synergy, it just wasn't there, especially in game number 2 versus Young Glory. But we're coming in tonight against 2 of the most practiced and storied duo lanes in China. Wei Zhao has been around forever and has consistently put up some amazing numbers. And Name, probably the strongest AD carry in China right now. That guy's looking monstrous, and FZZF is the strongest support, put up some strong pressure from EDG, and watching those guys face off is just going to be ridiculous. But with Braum left for 3rd pick here, can't believe that. World Elite are going to lock in a Braum Kog'Maw for their duo lane.
Also, Thresh didn't get banned, so he might be open for the taking for FZZF. Yeah, once again, this Blitzcrank troll hovered over. Because FZZF was such a great Blitzcrank player. Everyone knows that in China.
A little bit of a hover on the Graves there as well, yeah. I was thinking about that for a while. I don't believe we'll actually see it. Graves traditionally used to shove lanes early on and for more AoE sort of team fight synergy. And I mean, sure, there is a Jarvan there, but that would speak more to like a Twitch or something that could spray and pray over top of him.
Yeah, we'll see, we'll see. Once again, this Blitzcrank hovered over, and then the reaction from the crowd going wild, and this Jinx gonna get locked in. After all, Name once again picking up this one champion, and he's considered, well, this is considered one of his top champions. So he's one of the top world AD carries, and he's playing one of his top champions. So this is going to be huge in the bottom of EDG.
Yeah, Name really one of the only Jinx players left out there. You don't really see the champion out there anymore. Now this is more the area of like hyper carries or, you know, Lucian or even some Ezreal in the LPL seeing out there. But all right, we're gonna have to look towards this. Okay, mid lane pick is gonna be weird. We saw Lucian, we saw Jace being hovered over. Oh, it's the lock-in on Skarner. Axine's going to be bringing out the Skarner. It gets locked in along with a Jace in the mid lane.
Yep.
All right, two very strange picks there for the last two on World Elite.
I mean, why not? Because you have the speed up from Jace, then you take this Kana. And yeah, they were hovering over this Orianna, so they were looking for some kind of a pick to back up this Kana from the very beginning. Orianna, Jace, all the things with the speed ups, and they will go for it. This is going to be awesome because Jace is kind of coming back. And we have seen him multiple times already. And yeah, that was the question. Is Salme or is Ninja going to play him? In the end, I think he is going for the middle lane.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be Ninja on that Jace. The Race Skarner composition here is going to be pretty cool to see, like, just the mid lane synergy. But you have to watch out for not just your mid lane and your jungle and how that's strong, but what does really the rest of the team for World Elite offer? And with Gragas able to just knock somebody in, all you have to do is get somebody near Skarner, and either he'll accelerate forward and catch them, or once you get them knocked around, he'll grab them and pull them back in. So pretty awesome to see Jace and Skarner coming back in for World Elite. But talk a little bit about the EDG lineup. It's a lot more standard, and especially with Name's pick of Jinx. I don't know. I feel like the comfort is there for EDG.
But the cheese is there for World Elite. They might have been training these comps for all the time. Because they were one of the first guys to bring Nami into the LPL. In the playoffs, they actually played it, and Nami hasn't been picked up for quite a long time. I think that more than half a year. So yeah, Hero coming in right here, the Korean coach. They are taking Nami. Now they're going for the Skana Jace comp, so they might have these team comps well trained and ready for the games already.
Now let's go ahead and take a look at the standings. Right before we hop into the game, you can see World Elite and EDG tied at second place. 12 points to 12 points and a 75% win ratio for both teams as they clash head-to-head tonight. It's a two-game series. We'll get to watch both of those games here live in English on Twitch. Of course, brought to you guys by Games in Asia and Gosu Gamers. Without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into the game. We're out on the Rift for World Elite. Your team in the blue taking on Edward Gaming in the red.
And already everyone's counting out. This Demacian standard spotting Sin. No aggressiveness from this Kana as of yet. And everyone is just fighting. Just look at the positioning of all the players. The 1v1s everywhere.
Oh, Conan's going to get some first blood action there onto FCZF, bullying him out there with the Winter's Bite. But FCZF just going to drop a ward and back out there. Man, look at the crowd, man. These fans are going crazy. There is so much action, so much hype. Even if these teams were doing the worst in LPL, there would still be hype for this matchup just because World Elite and EDG have such a strong history between these two teams.
Yeah, and this is the first time that you can hear the crowd so loud for such a long time. Everyone is so hyped up for the matchup. And even though OMG is on the first place, I think that these guys are the ones to watch the most.
So starting off with our matchups, you almost always see 2v1 lanes in LPL. It's been very standard. Saw it both games earlier between OMG and Young Glory. And it does look like this time it won't be any difference. We'll see the duo top lane for EDG. And of course, World Elite will spread down to bottom. The only difference is that EDG are actually playing this one very aggressively. They're the ones going in for not only a blue buff steal, but also a wolf camp steal as well. And might actually just take down the white and go for the 4-0. But more likely than not, they'll rotate back into their own jungle. And you'll actually see Skarner, and I think he's going to be backed up by Salme. They'll go for Roam and a counter jungle for themselves as well.
That's pretty much the same thing we have seen in the previous two games. The jungler from the red side being on the top half of the jungle, and the jungler from the blue side taking the bottom half, and no one even cares about the invading or whatever. They are just taking the top side and the lower side for themselves.
Yeah, some horizontal jungling going on instead of the vertical like you're used to seeing, but in a somewhat uncharacteristic move. It's a 4-0, but it's a 4-0 on Dragon as World Elite going for an incredibly early 3-minute Dragon takedown here Looks like they'll get it. Excellent dragon jungling. Just look at Conan. I think he missed that dragon aggro juggle once, but other than that, just incredibly strong early dragon. It's a 3-minute dragon for World Elite.
Yeah, and once again, pretty much the same thing. The team that is getting the bottom half of the jungle, they are taking the dragon too, so the ones in the top are losing this one out. And EDG actually losing a little bit in gold, but they might take it away with the turret. However, on the other side, there's still the lane swap too. This Karma might be pounding on the bottom outer. Pretty much the same as Name on the top.
And usually if you rotate to Dragon that quickly, I mean, it's a 3-minute mark, you're going to be able to put some extra pressure on your post-turret lane rotation. The only difference is for EDG, they'll probably be able to take that top turret more quickly just because it's Jinx. She's been hitting that turret for a long time. And the reason that you can see World Elite go for that Dragon so early is because they realize, hey, Jinx has pressure top lane even if it's just her in lane. So taking the Dragon quickly means that you don't need your 4-man bottom lane, and so you can spread them out across the map, and that's exactly where you see Cao Mei. He's up the top lane to defend the turret, and Axine, he's even still in his upper jungle, able to spread the experience around the map instead of continuing to lose a lot.
Yeah, but the turret in the top is actually almost full health, so EDG is really having a good time when it comes to gank.
We're going to have to watch out here. TP is in there. Cao Mei is almost going to kill. Koro lives. He's still alive there in the back, but the barrel, he walks back into it. Not where he was supposed to be. And Cao Mei able to pick up the first blood for World Elite.
And what a misplay right there by Koro. He stayed alive, he was happy, then he came back.
He made
no
it.
idea what for.
He had like 2 HP, and he gets out alive, and he's like, I'll stay around for moral support. Doesn't quite work out so well. Axine in the top lane trying to cover for Cao Mei as he rotated down bottom lane, but he grabs first blood, so it's worth it even still. Nice play there by World Elite.
Yeah, so World Elite taking the first blood in the end.
Oh, and he gets the flash for the knockback. Ninja's in onto you. He's got the form change. Last auto attack, and Ninja with a 1v1 solo kill in the mid lane. Grabbing the second kill for World Elite.
Alright, it looked like it was a little bit of a poke with the shock blast, but then he flashes over. What an aggressive play coming in by Ninja, and World Elite will be dominating in the kills and in the dragons. And EDG still not taking down this outer turret in the top.
Cao Mei is actually going to stop the back there for Name. He didn't get the turret, and that's going to set up a solo lane with both turrets up. Cao Mei even coming into this maybe a little bit behind in levels, up a little bit in CS, but more importantly, he has the item advantage with some armor, move speed, and double Doran's rings.
So we still are looking at the advantage for World Elite. Well, this turret will, of course, even the things up by a little bit with Core 1. Well, when will he actually be able to take it down? That is the question. And Sin, he'll just be getting stronger and stronger on this Skarner, especially with this Jace getting a kill on his lane. So be a nice boost for this duo.
Mid lane, some wards being cleared out there. Axine already on top of his word game. Usually you'll see junglers and even laners back for a switch to sweepers at around 7, level 7, level 8. But this is a level 4 swap to sweepers for 3 members of World Elite. They are so dedicated to keeping this vision game under their control. And 3 sweepers early on is a good way to do it. We're going to get a look at this outplay. The flash in for the thundering blow backwards. And Yu's just like, alright, I got to flash back to my turret, but the ranged form transformation, the auto attack's too good. Ninja with the outplay in the mid lane over you.
Yep, there's a little bit of a trade from the top lane, not doing too much. But yeah, Koro 1 should be trying to get this turret as soon as possible, because World Elite will be building up the gold lead. And if they can't come back quite early, they will be struggling later on.
So important to keep an eye on not only the top lane, but you got to keep an eye on bottom as well. We finally have the duo lanes matching up against each other, and that's what's going to really turn this around, or really define that duo lane matchup, because it's almost certainly not going to stay 2v2. You're going to have TPs, you're going to have jungle ganks try to turn that lane around, because it's what's going to define this game between World Elite and EDG, 2 of the best duos in China.
The game is already looking intense. The farm is well, on both of the sides, it's pretty much even. Yeah, Korwan, I'm waiting for him to do something. This is the Jack, so he'll be ramping up into this hyper carry. But on the other hand, you also have the Kog'Maw, who also will be the big thing in the late game. So both of the teams have really strong comms, but they can't really make big things happen as of yet. This will definitely develop as we have to wait for a while due to the pause. No body slam, no barrel roll, just headbutts are enough. Well, in the bottom lane, this flaming chompers thrown out by Name to try and zone out Weishao by a little bit, but Weishao is just going for the pure aggressiveness. He doesn't even care. That was a nice play right there.
Wow, and it does look like, apologies for those minor tech issues, we're back, and it looks like after the dive in the top lane, it's starting to snowball. And what I mean by snowball is you start to see advantages being built on top of to build even more. Axine, instead of completing a jungle item, picks up boots of mobility off of the gold he got from that kill. So he will be all over the map, and even now just trying to contest this blue buff respawn by clearing out some ward coverage and looking to play very aggressively on the bottom half of the map.
Yeah, the dragon has respawned, and they will be taking it easily. So World Elite once again securing the gold lead for themselves in the early game, and that is a big thing at EDG. They might find themselves in a really tough spot, even early in the game, and later on it will just get worse.
And you can see, with the top turret going down as Koro tried to go aggressive there, Same just has to walk backwards to his creep wave, and he's going to be just fine. That is World Elite's second dragon of the game at 10 minutes in. They're only a minute off the respawn, and they're going to pick up all their buffs as well. So the only thing they lost was the turret, but they're still wildly ahead in gold. But more importantly, it's just the map pressure. Clearing out wards and just taking every objective they can find.
Yeah, and when they start going for the turrets, this will definitely get bad for EDG. And Korwan, finally, I was talking about when he gets to the turret. It is already too late because the second dragon went down. It was supposed to be a dragon for a turret back then, but now it's 2 dragons for a turret, and it's definitely not worth it for Edward Gaming.
Coming into tonight's game, you could almost expect to see the Jarvan out of Clear Love. It wasn't really a mystery. He's been playing almost nothing but Jarvan. And so for Axine to say, all right, let's not just go for these standard jungle picks, mix it up with this Jace Skarner, sort of Race Skarner combo. I gotta say, we haven't seen it just yet, so we have yet to see the synergy, but each one of those champions individually been making some big plays early on. Same gets his lane pushed in. He'll be able to freeze it if he wants to. So now it's up to Koro. What is he going to do out on the map?
3-1 kills right now, 2k gold difference. In CS, it still looks pretty much the same. So even though they have gone down a little bit of times, EDG, they're keeping it up in CS. 55 to 56 at the top lane, that is the most interesting thing because Koro has gone down already 2 times. He's still keeping up.
So kind of interesting to see. We talked about the bottom lanes really defining this. Neither bottom lane has really accomplished a whole lot at all. You saw the early kill from FZZF. He was able to get that. But aside from that, it's been straight up AFK farming down bottom lane. No teleports, no jungle ganks, just CS down there. So, you know, maybe they'll kick into high gear a little bit later on. But I gotta say, it's been Axine getting out there with a nice dive top lane, and more importantly, Same with a teleport early on and then a help for that jungle gank. It makes some pretty impressive moves. So Really, the lane that's been a little bit lackluster for me has been Yu. He's getting out-farmed by a Jace. He got 1v1 early on by Ninja's cool little outplay, and really has yet to come out. We talked about how we haven't seen a whole lot of Orianna in LPL, and might be seeing the reason why.
Yeah, definitely. And, well, the farm difference is just due to the death, but still, Orianna should be doing a lot better to be then useful in teamfights, because you usually expect a lot of damage from the shockwave, and this way it might actually lack a little bit later on. But yeah, the bottom lane just AFK farming, and that's what bothers me the most, because I'd love to see more action right there, because these are the two best bottom lanes in China. I want to see more going on right then.
Now, rather than just comparing the bottom lanes in China, you can actually highlight the difference between the Korean and Chinese players. Clearlove, I believe, recently did an interview where he said that Chinese and Korean junglers could actually be on par with each other. So now we get a chance to find that out. And while you're comparing the Chinese and Korean in the junglers, you can also compare them in the mid lane. Ninja, he's been actually looking a little bit weak, whereas Yu has been just looking incredibly strong, especially off of EDG's victory 2-0 over OMG in the IEM qualifiers. But speaking of IEM qualifiers, there's actually Ninja, who came up with a big performance on Jace, and so he'll be playing that here tonight, looking very, very strong versus EDG, specifically Yu.
Yeah, and this World Elite versus EDG, actually talking about the background story also. Edward Gaming are considered the traitors because they were playing in World Elite and broke their contracts just to go for a new team. But then after they won so many games and...
Oh, Cao Mei's actually going in on this. He's got the flash over the wall. Where's the barrels, the explosive cask? He already used it, so he's looking for the body slam. There it is. There's Happy Hour, gets the auto attack, and he short arms the explosive cask.
Pink
or the
ward.
barrel roll, so wasn't able to get it. He throws down the pink ward instead. Maybe not quite the item he wanted to throw out there.
Yeah, he used his trinket already, so he has to throw out a pink ward. So yeah, still continuing to talk about the World Elite and EDG. After EDG have won against OMG multiple times, now instead of traitors, they are called the Hope of China. So that's really interesting. Come out from the Chinese fans.
Yeah, big shift. You can see they started out very negatively seen, but they're looking a little bit better, at least in the public eye. See Axine covering mid lane just a little bit to keep you from shoving it in, and got 30 seconds until Dragon number 3 TP to the bottom lane is Koro with a two-man stun. The Super Mega Death Rocket, aptly named as Name, is going to grab one kill for himself. Rotation down, it's the Nation on top of Conan, the dunks as well. Conan should probably fall here. Clearlove able to tank up that turret, and he will make it out alive. A big four-man roam to the bottom lane. 2-0. Favor of EDG.
Yeah, and 2 kills on Name also, and this is going to be really huge. As I said, this Jinx is a beast, especially when Name is playing her. The push possibilities are going to be really big.
Oh, flash through the mid-turret. Bad timing as FZZF and Koro are going to show up there. Big play attempt there by Sin, but rotation was there. EDG on top of everything. They didn't stop for the Dragon. They kept going to the mid lane and able to turn that flashy play around there. Axine got in, but couldn't find the kill.
It could have even been a kill for EDG right there, because there was a shockwave coming out from Orianna, but a little bit too late, and it failed to drag Sin underneath the turret.
A little bit miscoordination there by World Elite. They were trying to be so aggressive because they wanted to make that big play timing in time for Dragon, which is just now respawned. So if they had been able to crush down that mid lane off of the gank, they could have killed the mid turret and then rotated down for Dragon. But because they failed that gank in the mid lane, now Dragon's looking a little bit more vulnerable. Could see FCZF getting the engage. There's Jarvan as well. Conan's going to get caught out there of just Name's zap landing. Couldn't run, couldn't hide. Now World Elite on the back foot. The 4v5.
And if Huishao gets caught right there, the zap crossing next to his face, and this will be a disaster for World Elite right here. They came out with a huge lead in the early game, and now they're losing a lot of kills and maybe even a Dragon, which will give the gold to EDG's favor.
Oh, FCZF's going to be the big front man in the line. A command shockwave like we expected before. And there we go. That's what we're looking for. 3 down for World Elite. And they're continuing to fight. It's Kog'Maw who finds 1 kill there on to Yu, Kathy, and Surprise. isn't going to be too surprising as EDG clean up the team fight 2 for 4.
It's a triple kill for Clearlove also, so this Jarvan, we were talking about a kind of a questionable pick because it's a Jarvan and there's no jungler bans and you're going for a Jarvan instead of a Lee Sin or something like that. He goes for it, he gets a triple right now, he gets the dragon secure, and they have a big lead right now. It was only Conan who stayed alive after that, but in the end, I think it was 5 kills.
Here we're going to see a replay of that fight, and it's FCZF that starts it out off a Ninja just way too far forward. The command Shockwave, World League just walk into it, and if it's not one AoE spell, we're going to see the dunk down here, and there's Clearlove just going off. He grabs 1 kill, he's got 2 right now, and just look at Wei Zhao. He was there taking out at least 1 kill, but that fight was all about Clearlove and FCZF, the big engage, working well. Coming out big for EDG.
Conan went down even before the fight happened, so it was a late ace for EDG. And so early in the game, getting an ace and a dragon is a huge advantage.
And it turns that around. EDG now, they're down 1 dragon, but they're up a turret, and more importantly, up those 3 kills on Jarvan. 3 kills as well onto Name, and while the early game was pretty flashy by World Elite, they were winning lanes, making some big TP plays. Well, now in the mid game, it's 20 minutes in, and EDG are looking strong.
Yeah, but we can say that for both of the sides. Both of the teams are really looking strong. They had their plays already. But who's going to come out on top later on in the team fights? For now, it looks like EDG have the superior comp. And actually, not only the Shockwave, it was also the Solar Flare. So proccing the Leona's passive also gives you a lot of damage. So it was just huge coming out, this combo from EDG.
But keep in mind, at any point in the game, the team comp from World Elite can kick in. You can have the acceleration gate into the crystalline exoskeleton from Skarner, and he just zooms in forward at like 700 move speed, grabs your carry, pulls him into the team. So, gotta keep things careful. World Elite's still looking for any picks. The only problem with Skarner is that, well, the big counter to Skarner is you just pick a hard engage composition, and that's exactly what EDG did. So that if somebody gets jumped on, you just hard engage and start the team fight right there. It's going to go good for you, so keeping an eye out.
We have seen it in the previous game also with Lulu, just slowing him down with the glitter lance, and he can't pretty much even move.
Yeah, Skarner is very vulnerable to being kited, or at least slowed out, so if Axine tries to go in and he gets hit by like a zap from Name, he's like, oh, well now I'm pretty sad. It's like, there's a reason I'm the last of my kind, it's because we get hit by zaps, so we'll see if he can get in here for possibly the red buff, but more importantly just picks. Looking to be made by EDG. They're roaming through the jungle. Might find Conan here. He's in a 1v2. The TP is coming down. Can Conan start this out? This is not necessarily a great way to start the fight. It's not going to be good for Wei Zhao. He will get exploded at the beginning. Now Conan's in trouble. Might be able to survive. Yeah, sure, he's in the back. Barrel's coming out there. Salme body slams backwards. Wei Zhao goes down and leaves Koro in the top lane. Salme's down bottom as well. Big team fight win for EDG.
Yeah, and there was Sin coming in, and actually the Cathian surprise did quite a bit of damage right there, but still not enough to get a kill. And Corwan will be split pushing the top, will be getting this turret for free. EDG coming out on top in everything right now.
Edward Gaming get the kill, they get the turret, and more importantly, they're just better overall, like, spread across the map. They're like, I think even if they had needed Koro, even if they had lost the fight down bottom, it still would have been worth it for him to stay top lane and try to make that turret split push happen, and he would have gotten it done. So, congratulations there, EDG coming out across the map with bigger advantages.
Yeah, now, okay, Wei Zhao got a little bit of kills on this Kog'Maw, but he's got 4 deaths already. On the other hand, we have Name with no deaths at all. 404 at the moment. And already an Infinity Edge and a Static Shift. This is gonna hurt a lot.
So we have to talk about where the lanes are right now. The big thing that Gragas offers to your team is tankiness and wave clear. And you can see that he's actually going for a little bit of, well, neither one of those in his items. Instead of going the classic LPL patented Gragas build and picking up a Frozen Heart, he's gone for the more aggressive Iceborne Gauntlets. And I mean, obviously that's for the CC and maybe a little bit of extra damage, but that's the build that's actually looking to duel Jax rather than just be a presence in team fights.
And I don't think that it's going to work out because this Jax is just going to bully Gragas if he gets a little bit more of the global gold bonus from more dragons or more turrets. And he's around. This may be a 5v5 team fight right here.
Yeah, big push up the mid lane. The turret was low, so you didn't even see EDG try to defend it. World Elite, nice rotation to the mid lane to finish off that turret, but they're still down one turret as those outer turrets have not been staying alive too long, and even two gone in the top lane off of Kuro's split push.
But 3-2 in the thirst is still quite even. It's still in the advantage in favor of World Elite and the Dragons. But well, they need to secure a team fight for themselves. They need to get a nice explosive cask to zone some members of EDG out of the team.
EDG versus World Elite. One of the matchups that we didn't talk about. We talked about duo lanes and how they're both pretty good, but okay, got to keep an eye out on the bottom lane. Holy cow! Flash forced out by Wei Zhao. So, I was talking about Wei Zhao. Name, back before he was on EDG, he was known as Devil. And if you talked about the AD carry lineups in China, it was Wei Zhao number 1, but Devil was always that guy that almost had his number. See if he has his number here. Braum ultimate just used to counter out that engage. Axine's in there looking for a grab, but the only people he can grab are the initiating tank lions. So great positioning in that team fight. EDG's 5v5 looking very good.
Yeah, it's good for them. And well, Wei Zhao in the bottom lane. Just one more auto attack from this Jax would have taken a ton of his health. Plus the move speed boost would be coming in, so he would have been dead. So this heal used up there right there. It's definitely worth it for his life, but he's already 2-4. He's already going down a little bit too often, and that's his problem. They need to get something going and not just farming and getting caught in the jungle.
Same is going to be able to use his area of effect, his wave clear, to keep that bottom turret from being pressured at all. So EDG are going to have to look elsewhere across the map. Dragon, not going to be an issue, so things that you need to worry about right now if you're in this particular time point is early Barons. So map vision, map coverage starting to be incredibly important, and World Elite are on top of that. They've got pink wards, regular wards, everything out around the Baron pit and are in a great position to pressure that objective. And we'll see if EDG start to put some pressure and maybe look to clear that area out.
Yeah, still everyone in farm looking kind of similar, so no big differences. Maybe in the middle lane, he was losing out by a little bit, but he got this huge shockwave back then on the dragon fight, so he got the assists. He's got 1 kill, no problem. We're waiting for something big to happen with this Javan, with this Orianna, with all that EDG has. This something big is going to happen sooner or later. And usually when we have such a peaceful game, it's going to explode at some point.
At some point. Well, that point is not now, Nero. We're going to see a little bit more farming, probably a lot more, until somebody gets rotated out of position. So currently that means that Sin's going to be the one looking for a pick, and once again, I don't think he's really going to find it. EDG are in 5v5 mode right now, and it looks weird because they've got Jax off to the side, but I guess this is more 4v4 mode, because there's no way that either side laner is going to be allowed to TP to team fights. You've got Explosive Cask and Body Slam from Salme that can stop Koro from teleporting. And he's got Counter-Strike if he wants to keep Salme down bottom.
Yeah, I think that this Jax is going to be left out in farm in the bottom and Kog'Maw in the top, because they want to get the hyper carries going. We'll have to wait for that for a long time.
Oh, Koro got in there with the biggest Counter-Strike of his life, saving it and getting him out alive. So he'll have to be playing that one very, very carefully. EDG clearing out the ward coverage, not around Baron, but around the bottom half of the map. Looking to be able to get their split push and roam on for some possible catches. There's Counter-Strike forced out by Koro. Salme is looking for a pick here. Might try for Explosive Cask into Skarner, but not going to go too aggressive just yet.
So they're trying to go for some picks, but it's not really working as of yet. They can't really find a comfortable place to fight for themselves too. Because this Jax, if he engages alone, he'll just go down quickly, and they can't really find to go in a straight 5v5 because World Elite will not allow it simply in the middle lane. They need to find something in the jungles.
Now, both of these teams are second place in the standings, so if either one of them 2-0s, they would have been able to take down first place away from OMG. But because OMG did split 1-1 against Young Glory, they will be at least 1 point ahead in the standings, no matter what happens here. So rather than being the battle for first place, this is the battle for second place. These teams tied for, well, basically this entire week. They'll get a chance to break that tie and prove who is the second best team in China.
Yeah, unless they tie once again.
Okay, don't break my hopes and dreams, Nero.
Well, everyone predicted 1-1 right here, so don't you be going for a 2-0. Don't be the odd one.
Well, we have seen at least one game tonight go 1-1, and that was very unexpected. So I'm just saying, if you the expected results tonight are not panning out, so I'm gonna go for the 2-0, but I'm not gonna say who's gonna get them. We'll see. We'll see who can clear things out. World Elite, they've got better coverage out on the map, better ward coverage, better vision, better spread as far as champions are concerned. But EDG, when they group the 4v4 or even the 5v5, their team fighting is just straight up amazing. Oh, the grab onto FCZF. They're trying to blow him up and break him down before this fight starts. The counter engage there is Clearlove's going to jump in, but FCZF is already down, and now Clearlove actually going to get hammered out of the Cataclysm, and he's going to get taken down as well. Axion trying to get onto you. He's got the slow there. If he wants to throw it down, Nameh's going to get deaded there as the jump in from Ninja onto you, trying to take him down underneath the turret. Got Conan trying to get that turret aggro, but Sin is there with the damage. And Alpha a monster pick onto FCZF. It's an almost team wipe. 4 for 1. Favor of World Elite.
Yeah, EDG was looking for a fight right there. And every single time it was a Jax who got caught or something like that.
Oh,
now,
Koro!
yeah.
Man, that guy's got to be careful. Haxine almost going down. Are World Elite going to stay on this? I think they have to. They are in such a good spot. Haxine's going to have to be very careful. Koro will try to put on enough pressure.
Should be just staying around for the smite and not trying to even approach this Baron. And there is the vision coming in from Koro, so he can try to take down the jungler, and that would be it.
Oh, but now Clearlove's here, and I don't think World Elite are going to be able to do this. EDG is going to try to turn this one around. They've got FCCF in there for the engage, and Koro's got enough damage to take down Salmei in the back line. And now, oh, Wei Zhao. That's not a good place to be, man. He's going to try to pick up the kill onto Koro, and oh, the leap strike. Not enough range. It's a 1 for 1 there for Kog'Maw, but a 4 for 1 the opposite direction as EDG win the fight, and now they're the ones in position for Baron.
Incredible. So in the end, it is a 5 for 5, and there's Ninja. He has the shock blast, so they hurt a lot.
Now it's Ninja's turn to turn this one around. All he has to do is, well, the impossible. Yeah, it's kill the jungler or steal Baron, and neither one of those is going to happen. World Elite. And honestly, this is Koro making the big plays. He jumped into the Baron pit and stopped the Baron by trying to take it from the other side. World Elite overcommitted to try to keep him out of the Baron pit and wound up giving up the Baron. And after they won a team fight 4 for 1, they give up a 4 for 1 team fight win to Edward Gaming. And now they're going to lose that team fight, lose the Baron, lose the Dragon, and have they lost the game off of just that fight?
Yeah, but it was just Salmei missing the body slam by a little bit. And he would have caught Koro 1, and then it would have been a perfect fight for them, and then they would have got the Baron, but just this tiny bit of range that he lacked right there with the body slam of Gragas.
Can we please just have one game where a team wins their lanes, gets Baron uncontested, and closes it out without having to go through this win lane, lose lane, win lane, lose lane, win the team fight at Baron, lose the Baron anyway. This game is just so back and forth. And you can even see that reflected in the buff control. Even numbers of reds, almost even numbers of blues, and even the dragons are 2-3. So they're pretty close there as well. The big thing is the Baron 0-1 in favor of EDG. A close game might just have gotten a whole lot less close off of that play.
Yeah, but it's still, I don't know what to call it. Is it a close game or not? I think that World Elite can still come back with a fight because they were in a pretty much the same situation when they won a fight this 4 for 1. But this time around it's EDG with the Baron buff, so it will be slightly harder. But I still think that they can pull it off, and this can still be a crazy game.
Wei Xiao really feeling the pain. He's got Shockwave to worry about. He's got Super Mega Death Rocket that can hit him, Solar Flare that can hit him, and then the gap closers from Jarvan and Jax that can just jump on top of him. It's not a good game to be a Kog'Maw. No protection at all for the AD carry in World Elite's lineup, unless you want to count Braum's ult, which is really going to be the biggest thing keeping Wei Xiao alive.
Yeah, but still, look at the turrets. Not many of them are down. And even though EDG got the Baron, they can't really push anything up, so they will never get to base of World Elite at this stage.
The thing that I'm going to keep harping on here is that World Elite's team comp works no matter if they're ahead or behind. Because of the high damage potential on their team between Kog'Maw, Gragas, and Ninja, anytime Axine gets a grab off of this sort of Race Karner combo, where you throw him through the acceleration gate, that's going to be an instant 4v5 for World Elite, if they can pull off the combo. And that's a big if. They pulled it off last time when they won the team fight off of a pick onto FZZF. But how many picks did they need to be able to win this? Look at Name, he's half health off of one acceleration gated Shock Blast.
But also this time around, just killing the support might not do the job. Well, Corwan will be pushing up this bottom by a little bit. He can't really get the turret. And yeah, they need to get a pick on someone like Orianna or Jax, because I don't really expect them to catch Jinx. But if they get one of these two guys, they will have a nice start of the fight.
Now the big problem here for that Race Karner combo that Axine might be coming in on is that whoever he grabs is going to be vulnerable to having the Orianna ult or the ball put on him, and then you just drag the guy into your team, and you're actually dragging the Orianna ult right into the middle of your team. So that's something that Axines have to be very, very careful of, because if he grabs someone with the ball on them, he's going to be screwing his entire team over if they all get Orianna ulted after that. So something definitely big to think about. Also, the starter ult kind of causes your team to group up because they want to burst down the guy in the middle, and that sets up for really impressive Jarvan ultimates as well. So I wouldn't say it's necessarily a counter to Skarner, because he's still going to pull your carry into the middle of the team, but still something to watch out for. Could yield some hilarious team fights here in the next few minutes.
But they really have to watch out for this Jinx. She's dealing a lot of damage already, but they need to keep her safe. And Ninja going for the Guardian's Angel so early. Actually early, it's 35th minute in the game, but you can't really feel that.
Yeah, I mean, he's already got enough cooldown reduction and damage, so I actually really like the idea to keep him from getting bursted down. That means if he gets caught in a Shock Blast, if he gets jumped on, stunned, and killed instantly by Jax, then he's going to be able to come back for at least a second chance. But I don't know how many chances World Elite are going to need to pick up these teamfight wins. Some nice word clearing from World Elite as they look to wait out this Baron buff. Not looking to fight. Their poke and wave clear have been sufficient enough to keep them safe throughout this Baron buff on EDG.
And this Baron will be coming back in just 2 minutes. So the fight might happen right there once again. And if it goes both ways once again, I can't really decide which team is the better one right here. 3-3 in the turrets, that's the most interesting thing. Still, EDG, even though they have such a big advantage, they can't really find any objectives from the base of World Elite. Can't really do much.
They were able to take down that mid turret. Oh, Koro. Man, that was dangerous. Axine could have just accelerated and grabbed him, but has to watch out now. Korra's been playing this entire game like a man on a mission. He's going to be the one jumping in, and no grabber, there for Sin. Axine's going to be just looking for desperately someone to grab. Can't find anybody just yet to dive in on the back line. Wei Xiao, nobody can kill that guy. He's in the back with so much damage, and now EDG are going to be the ones forced to try to escape, and now this is Wei Xiao town right now. He's going to be dealing out so much damage, but Name's been untouched in this fight as well. So both AD carries coming out with a huge fight. Koro almost dies. Where's the barrel? It's not in time. And Salme able to or not able to find that kill. Koro, when he got hit by that shock blast, he had the counter strike on, and counter strike actually reduces the damage from area of effect spells by 25%. So he actually saved his life by hitting the counter strike to prevent the damage that would have killed him from that shock blast. Big plays, Koro. Almost got caught out there, but wound up getting away alive.
And simply everyone staying on low health bars right here, but well, Wei Xiao was untouched because he had good positioning, but on the other hand, Name got knocked out of the fight at the very beginning with the explosive cast.
And look at this fight. That's Xiaomei like just MVPing it up. He's like, oh, Name is going to be dealing damage. Pushing him back to the fight, and now watch this explosive cast. He's just like, no way to carry this fight. Xiaomei gets in there with the aggression, but look at how hard Ninja and Axine are peeling for Wei Xiao. They're just a big tanky tank wall. Wei Xiao is actually out of mana at this point, and because Name was knocked so far backwards, he doesn't actually get damaged by any of that fighting. So while the rest of his team's low, he can still push up and become that big presence. Beautiful team fight by both teams, but big turret pushing after that by EDG will take down tier 2 in the mid if they want to. But no, it's Koro, maybe caught out again. Has to rotate back through that bottom half of the jungle. Man, that guy's aggressive, but he's been making it work.
Both AD carries running out of mana quite quickly in the fight, and that's the issue. But yeah, once again, Name coming out on top, and 616 just died once in this game. Still preserving the title of the better AD carry in the game.
Now positioning around Baron, it's back up, and it's going to be probably what defines this game. I feel like both teams are just going to all in on Baron, and that's going to be one spectacular way to go out with the bang. I want to say that gives a favor over to EDG. They've been up by several thousand gold for the majority of this game, now with a 9,000 gold advantage at the 40-minute mark. World Elite still making it look even, but EDG starting to pull ahead.
Alright, so one more fight like that, if it happens.
Is this a free Baron for World Elite? They can burn this down, but they risk this fight. They're actually going to go for it with an explosive cast and knock away. The Smite Steal comes in from Clear Love, and he's able to get in there. The Command Shockwave into the Super Mega Death Rocket, and Edward Gaming just blow this team fight wide open. The explosion there going to kill off Ninja. Guardian Angel's not going to keep him alive, and in the biggest engage of Edward Gaming's life, they crush World Elite at the Baron buff, and now they're looking to close out the game.
Triple kill for Name, no kills at all for World Elite, the Baron steal, and well, it's a bad thing that Clearlove got knocked away with the explosive cast. They should have gone for him and not for whoever was running around this Baron pit.
They're just going to close out the game off of that. Biggest Smite steal. You had crazy engage after that. Perfect Jarvan, Orianna, Jinx, all of their ultimates chained absolutely beautifully. You can win your lane, but it takes coordination to win the game. That's exactly what Edward Gaming did. They will take down game number 1 in a spectacular fashion versus World Elite. You can't hope for anything more.
Yeah, definitely. EDG coming out so strong, winning 2 fights in a row right there. I wanted to say before the fight started, that if they find once again one pick around the jungle of World Elite, this is going to be awesome for them. But they got 5 members at the same time, and no problem. They will get the ace, they will get the Baron, they will get the game. And EDG coming out on top. So well played by them.
Incredible team fight, incredible game 1. And to take a look at the standings before we hop into game number 2, you can see them up there on your screen. Game 1 win for Edward Gaming puts them in 2nd place, with World Elite now dropping down to 3rd, right ahead of Starhorn. So it's going to be up to We to win this game and hang on to their 2nd place standing. If not, they not only drop 2 games down behind World Elite, or 3 games down behind Edward Gaming, rather. But they'll be quite a ways back from OMG, who's sitting in top with now 15 points. So, pretty incredible game number 2. I think we're actually going to take a little bit of a brief break while we get ready to load into game number 2. So, stick around, don't go anywhere, because when we come back, we'll have the exciting conclusion in the last game of tonight, as World Elite look to bring things back, and Edward Gaming looking incredibly strong. We'll have that game and a whole lot more coming your way after a short break, so stick around. We'll be right back.